Good evening. How are you all doing? This is just checking in to see how you're doing mentally and emotionally, and also to continue to encourage you in the times we're in. And give me a few moments. Let me just quickly share this and I will get started quickly because I'm not going to spend too much time online tonight. I'm in between something and I've been struggling with doing this for a while, but I just wanted to come on and do this and check in with you, and also leave you with some nuggets, some food for thought, some encouragement that would allow you to begin to see life, as always, as I share, in a different dimension than what you're typically used to seeing or used to doing. One of the things I wanted to share was today is on the freedom of your mind, the freedom of your life, the freedom that you may not even connect to as a person on a daily basis. We're used to our usual moving around, our usual getting around, the normal routine, which is outside of what we're experiencing now. And sometimes you don't think of those routines as something that takes away also part of the freedom that you have, the freedom in your mind, the freedom in your life, the freedom of your thoughts. We're used to the routine of waking up every day and going out, going to work, coming back. And sometimes we don't really have the thoughts of how we can enjoy that freedom that we have now in our own homes. There are people that are experiencing anxiety now. There are people that are experiencing emotional challenges now. There are people that are experiencing loneliness. And all this happens in the thought process. Everything happens in the thought process. And if your thoughts are not aligned right with your mindset and with your soul, it's very easy to go through the emotional and mental challenges as we speak. And because we've been used to being on the go and never really sitting within and experiencing our feelings and allowing our feelings and our emotions to speak to us, you may not really enjoy the freedom that you have now, even in your own home. And I talk about it as freedom because when your mind is not free, when your thoughts are not pure, when you're mentally disconnected from your true self, it's very easy to experience that disconnection at this moment where you feel like you're caged up because you're used to being on the go. You're not used to being at home. And again, it's based on the conditioning of what the society has introduced us to always be on the go. But being on the go may also be a part of being disconnected from yourself. And so in this moment, you may be experiencing feelings that are outside of who you are. You may be experiencing anxiety. As a single person, you may be experiencing loneliness. As a couple, you may be experiencing loneliness and there may be conflicts arising. But it's all based on how pure your thoughts are and how well you're allowing yourself to experience your feelings, to experience your emotions, and to allow them teach you so much about yourself. Our emotions and our feelings allow us to get direction when we're lost in our own journey. Let me say that again. Our emotions and our feelings allow us to get directions sometimes when we are lost in our own journey. And when you allow yourself to feel things like anger, when you allow yourself to feel things like anxiety, when you allow yourself to feel panic, you will not be within you. You will be responding to everything that's external and outside of who you are. And so today I'm sharing this because I believe that when you allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling, you will be able to take charge of your emotions and your feelings on a healthy path to a healthy mental and emotional state of being. But without you really sitting within and experiencing those feelings, you may not connect to your true self, and you may just be connecting to things outside of you and responding to everything outside of who you are. Your emotions and your feelings, when you sit with them now and you get a journal and begin to write down things that allow you to uncover a lot that you don't know about yourself yet, you will get a different perspective into your life. And I'm sharing this because I've been really coaching on with people that are getting anxious, people that are feeling depressed, people that are sitting with their emotions on the wrong path. And my goal is to really help you connect with your emotions the right way so that you can begin to see your life in the light of who you are, and in the light of healing, in the light of connecting with your true essence, in the light of not getting overwhelmed by everything that is happening. And again, I'm going to use the quote, train your mind to see good in every situation. Train your mind, if I can type today, to see good in every situation. Because when you train your mind by training your thoughts and allowing yourself to experience your emotions and feelings without really holding back, you will be able to see the different perspectives to life from what you're experiencing in this moment. You may be home now, you may be feeling overwhelmed. You may be home now, you may be feeling anxious. You may be home now, you may be feeling emotionally drained. You may be home now and there's so much conflicts going on through your thoughts. You may be home now and you may even really want to just make it end. But the reality is, it's okay to feel what you're feeling, but it's also okay to allow yourself not to sit too much with those feelings, but allow yourself to let the feelings help you uncover things that you may not be connecting to in this moment. It's okay to even cry it out sometimes, because when you let the tears out, you're letting out everything that's overwhelming you. It's okay to allow your emotions take you somewhere, but it's not okay to let it make you sit in the negative side of life. And you have to look at it as this moment when you're even home is when you should feel at peace with yourself, because you're in a place where you seek solace as your own environment. Everything else is external environment, but when you're in your home, that's your own environment where you can feel the inner peace. But if you're not feeling inner peace right now at home, this is a time to begin to examine your feelings and your emotions. What are they saying to you about where you are with yourself? What are they saying to you about the part of you that you don't yet know or haven't discovered yet? What are you really connecting with outside of yourself? Everything that you connect to on the external that brings you sadness is taking you away from yourself. Let me type that out. Everything that you connect to on the external, which is outside of yourself, if I can really type, outside of yourself, takes you away from your true essence. And most of the time when you're on the go, you don't really realize this, because everything you're on the go with is what really leads your life. And that's why I shared the quote with you, what you feed your mind leads your life. And if you're letting everything that's on the external lead your life, you will not really connect to your true essence and enjoy this moment in your own home, emotionally, mentally, and even physically and health-wise. The goal is to allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to unburden everything that may be overwhelming in this moment. Disconnect from the external. Disconnect from social media and news. Disconnect from all that and sit with yourself. Grab a journal. This is an assignment to you. Grab a journal and begin to write down what you're feeling. I'm sharing this because this is what I do with my clients. This is also something I've done with myself during my healing journey. And I began to see that I was connecting to everything that wasn't leading me to find myself. And when you're connecting to things that are disconnecting you from who you are, you will easily get overwhelmed with your emotions and your feelings. And you will not really connect to really becoming healthy within. Because everything that's external will take you out from being healthy within yourself. Everything within you that reveals to you much about yourself brings you to gain an awareness and an understanding that you may not yet have about yourself. I've documented this in my books, including my latest book on becoming restored, because I had to do the work of sitting with my feelings. It's not a very exciting experience, but it helped me see more. It helped me see more about who I am. And when you allow yourself to drown in the noise of everything that's going out now, it's easy for you to get overwhelmed emotionally and mentally. But the key is to sit with your feelings and allow yourself to feel. Find a solitude, a space where you can get into solitude and connect with your emotions and feelings. And begin to write down everything you're feeling. And as you're writing down, begin to ask yourself the questions. What is this revealing to me about where I am with myself, where I am emotionally, where I am mentally, where I am even sometimes spiritually? And as you begin to connect to that, you see how you uncover things that even lead to your physical health being overwhelmed and being shifting from healthy into the unhealthy state of mind. It's very easy to get carried away by everything that we do on the regular basis when we're on the go. But when you have an opportunity to sit at home like this, it's time to begin to examine how you're shifting away from yourself, your true self, emotionally and mentally. And if you begin to examine, you will begin to see things and uncover things that result in conflicts that you may even be experiencing without realizing all these conflicts come from what I'm not connecting to. It will be a wrestle because it's not something you're used to, because we've been conditioned to live outside of our true self. We've been conditioned to be on the go outside of who we are. We've been conditioned to look after every other person and forget about ourselves. But now that you're having all this time, it's an opportunity to take advantage of looking within and connecting to your emotions and connecting to yourself and really figuring out, what am I experiencing? How am I finding myself in this moment? What am I allowing myself to experience? Because this opportunity will never come in God knows how many years or months again. You have all this luxury time in your hands at home, in a place where you should feel like it's your solace, a place where you should feel peace. But if you're home and you're not feeling peaceful, then you're far away from your true self. I shared a quote on my wall this morning about let me turn my phone off, please. I shared a quote on my wall this morning about, if you are not comfortable in your home with yourself and you're not experiencing peace in your home right now, it is because you're not connected to yourself and you don't have that freedom. You're not really free to be yourself. And when you're not free to be yourself, it means you're living outside of your own existence. You're just existing. You're not truly living. You're not in a peaceful place with yourself. And if you're not in a peaceful place with yourself, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. It's very easy to get lonely. It's very easy to get disconnected. It's very easy to feel anxious. It's very easy to feel depressed because you're responding to everything on the external, but you're forgetting about who you are on the internal. And as long as you're missing that piece, mentally and emotionally, you will become overwhelmed and drained. Your cup will not be full. Your cup will be empty. The goal is to have your cup overflowing. And the goal is to be at home where you can find rest and peace and feel comfortable without feeling like you have to keep going. I drove around today because I wanted to warm my car, and I started to get these nuggets, as God normally drops them in my heart. People are still outside, not constantly because they can't sit indoors. I just drove around my community and people are still outside because they can't sit within. We've been conditioned to be on the go, always on the go. And when you're always on the go, it's like routine. Sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. You're like unconsciously waking up at the same time every day and unconsciously or subconsciously driving yourself to work. And you're sitting down and it's like, groom, lunchtime. That bell rings for lunchtime in your brain. And you eat lunch and then you go back to work. And then you may even stay there overworking, and then you get back and you go home. And it's like routine. Everything outside of not connecting with yourself. Everything about surviving, but not about living. We are always on the survival mode. And when you're in the survival mode, it's very easy to get anxious or depressed when things are not happening as you expect them to happen in the survival mode. But where you're in the living mode, you would always be at peace and content with everything that you're experiencing. Because you know there are things you cannot control. And you're not so worried about things that you can't control. You're only focused on those things that you can control. And when you're focused on things that you can control, your emotions and your feelings sit with you in a very peaceful place. You're not worried about tomorrow because you know you don't have control over tomorrow. You're only focused on the now because that's all you have control over. So like I said, the assignment is for you to feed your mind right. Sit with those feelings and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. But don't sit too long with the feelings, because when you do, they take you outside of what you can control to what you cannot control. You begin to get agitated about things that are going to happen tomorrow when you don't even know if you would have tomorrow. Let me say that again. You begin to get anxious. You begin to panic about tomorrow when you don't even know if you're going to see tomorrow. You're not living in this moment and allowing yourself to experience the peace and the joy and the happiness in this moment. And that's why sometimes we allow our emotions and our feelings to take us into a negative mindset and a negative, unhealthy place where we begin to panic and get depressed. I should be here, survival, than living. I want to have this, but I am not sitting with what I have and enjoying it in this moment, because all I have is all I have control over. And I really want you to look at this in depth, because for me, I go to the deep places to help you begin to uncover so that you can begin to get into a healthy state of mind. Because when your mind is not healthy, your life will never be healthy. Let me type that out. When your mind is not healthy, your life will never be healthy. When your mind is unhealthy, your life will never be healthy. And it's not a curse. It's not a curse on you or anything, but that's the reality of life. If we're not feeding our minds right, we cannot see good in every situation we find ourselves. If you're not feeding your mind right, you can never see the good in every situation. What you will do is blame this person and blame that person, but you're not sitting to see what in this moment am I learning about myself? What in this moment is showing me that I've been in a place where I'm not even connecting with my true self to see the light of who I am and to enjoy this moment that I've been given, to enjoy the peace and happiness I have in this moment, to stop panicking and worrying about things I cannot control, but focus on what I can control and make the best out of what I can control. No one of us is granted tomorrow yet. We don't even have control of waking up. The one who created us, God himself, is the only person who wakes us up every morning. And what do we do when we get up? We get back into the mental routine that we've been conditioned by the society to do. Get up, brush your teeth, take a shower, get in the car, drive to work, sit down, eat lunch, go to the grocery, go back home, eat, sleep, have a few conversations, and then we're done. We sleep and we wake up and it's back to the routine. But what about yourself? How are you connecting to yourself and building healthy? In this time we're in, I'm encouraging couples to really sit down and begin to flesh out the things that you may have conflicts about. I've had 2 couples this week on conflicts, and they were fighting about the little things. Oh, she puts the dish here, and she puts this here. And I said, how is that building your relationship? Because she left a dish in the sink. How does that affect your relationship? It has nothing to do with her. It's you getting irritated about something else that you're yet to connect to. And he looked at me and said, she drives me insane. And I said, what about her drives you insane? What are you experiencing in this moment in your feelings that you're taking out on your spouse because you're not connecting to yourself and connecting to why you're angry? And at that moment, he went quiet. He was upset about not being sure about getting paid. And I said, is that something you can control? He was like, no. I said, so why are you taking it out on your spouse and creating conflicts because she's not even part of what you're experiencing? And we sat down and we looked at their finances, and what he was panicking about, they already have enough money to cover. And I said, do you see how you're going through this in the survival mode, but you're forgetting to leave? And you're now taking that stress based on everything external, and you're now putting it on your spouse, and it's now causing conflict in your marriage. And I said, think about it. You're both home for a long time. If this continues, you will end up getting physical with her. And he said, that's true. I'm very close to doing it. And I said, do you see how you panic? Because you're not within yourself and you're not sitting with your emotions and allowing yourself to experience and get answers from within. Why are you experiencing these negative feelings? And why are you allowing the negative feelings to take control of you than you take control of them? Because you're not sitting with them and you're not examining what they're teaching you about yourself. And that's how we start conflicts. That's how we start these battles that we don't even solve sometimes. And that's how we fight everybody else. Then look within ourselves and say, you know what? I've got work to do with my own life so that I can get healthy mentally and emotionally and stop stressing about things that are beyond my control. I can teach myself much more about myself when I sit with my feelings and examine them and examine my emotions. I've shared with you, tame your emotions. Tame your emotions. Don't let your emotions tame you. Don't let your emotions tame you. Give me 1 second. Let me just type if I can type. And if you're not taming your emotions and your feelings, you're going to lose it. And before you get it, you're so agitated. You're so angry. You're so anal. And then when you look back after everything is being spilled, without examining your emotions and feelings that lead you to an unhealthy state of mind, you look back and say, you know what? I regret saying that to someone. But when you say things, when words drop, you don't have power to take it back. You've already spilled it. But when you allow yourself to experience your feelings and emotions and you sit with them and you examine them, you look at your life and say, you know what? Before I even venture to do this, what are the consequences I'm going to face? Every choice you make comes with a consequence that you will face. But when you allow yourself to feel, to cry sometimes if you have to not get overwhelmed emotionally and mentally, but to sit and examine what you're learning in the moment, you create an avenue of peace. And now that you're home in a place where you're supposed to feel peaceful, and you're feeling like you're just caged, you can't experience anything healthy if you cannot sit and feel at peace at home. You feel like you have to constantly be on the go. You're not going to be able to sit with yourself and find yourself and understand yourself and understand how to respond to situations like this. What are you feeling in this moment? And what is it teaching you about yourself? How are you doing emotionally and mentally with the feelings and the emotions that you're not allowing yourself to experience or feel? I really want you to sit down. As a coach, my goal is to help you become better. As a writer, my goal is to help you to become better. As a speaker, my goal is to help you to become better. My mission in life is to help you connect with these things so that you can free yourself from everything that the external is teaching you, but you're failing to connect with internally to get into a healthy space. It is all about finding you and finding your truth. It's all about becoming committed to yourself. I talk about commitment in my new book. You can get it. There are only 10 copies available now. You can get on my website. It's not coming out until May, but I'm releasing 10 to the first 10 people that are interested in getting it. It's about looking within and allowing yourself to experience life in the true meaning of life, than it being always in the survival mode of living. Survival mode will never let you find healthy within. You have to truly stop existing and live as your true essence that you were created to be. But if you're not doing it now, you don't know what tomorrow holds and you're not in control of tomorrow. Now is all you have. And now is the time to take that opportunity and seize it and connect with it to build healthy for yourself, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, health-wise. The more you create the healthy, the more you're going to connect to healthy people. The better you become, the better your associations will become. In this time when you may feel like you're getting overwhelmed and you're connecting to people that are also creating more anxiety for you, when you're in a healthy state emotionally and mentally, you're going to connect with people that will speak life to you. You're not going to connect to people that would even give you insomnia at night, but they can go to sleep because it's part of their routine. Pain always attracts pain. I've always shared that with you. Law of attraction. If you're in a healthy place, you would only attract healthy people that will help you continue to stay in a healthy place. Train your mind to always see good in every situation. Tame your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts tame you. Tame your emotions. Don't let your emotions tame you. Focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't control. You can't control how long we're going to be at home. But you can control your emotions and your feelings by examining them and sitting with them and allowing them to take you to a place where you're finding meaningful paths and journeys to you growing in a healthy state of mind. And the more you do, the more you'll feel at peace in your home. If there are questions, I will take your questions because I really want you to be in a healthy space mentally, emotionally, and really getting to a place where you're being able to examine your feelings and getting overwhelmed, and getting anxious, then panicking and getting depressed. You don't need all of those things. Those things take away from you. They don't add to you. And if they're not adding to you, they're only going to deplete you. And if you're depleted, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and not be able to refill your cup from that space, because that's an unhealthy space. It begins to lead to toxicity within yourself, and it also helps you create toxic relationships than healthy relationships with people that can really help you just gather your momentum and get going. When we don't take advantage of opportunities where we can experience that moment where we are connecting with our true selves, we later have regrets in life. We later become disappointed in life. But you don't have to push yourself to that extent. You can make a change now. You can make a change now. If you don't want to put your questions online, you can feel free, inbox me, email me, and I will set up a 30 to 45 minutes coaching session with you to help you get started with renewing your mindset. I just put my email down. To renewing your mindset and getting into a healthy space with yourself. There is so much peace within, but if you're not connecting to the peace, you will easily connect to the chaos. And the chaos only takes away from you. It doesn't add to you. It only makes you shift into a place where you don't belong than to a place where you belong. Where there's life abundant for you to connect to. I will continue to encourage you. As a coach, this is what I do. This is my mission in life. I've walked this journey myself to be able to write the books that I've written to help you begin to work through it. Every book except for Love, Life, Sex, Lies, and Reality has a workbook that helps you answer questions, that help you uncover more about who you are so that you can really live a peaceful life. God never designed us to have a chaotic life. But because we connect to everything on the external and we forget about ourselves, we miss out on connecting with ourselves and experiencing life in the true meaning of life. We get lost, we get overwhelmed, we get depressed, we get lonely, we get panic attacks, we get insomnia. We get unhealthy, then become healthy in the life of abundance that He's created. When He signed, sealed, and delivered you as good enough and born to be great. I'm no different from you. If I can do it, you can do much more. This is why I'm here to support. This is why I'm here to continue to push you to get better. Because if we all get better, we all go higher. Trees don't bend back to become shrubs. As I'm growing, I'm pulling you along. That's what sovereign leaders do. Not leave people behind. Love is selfless. And that's part of being selfless. To be able to look and have empathy on you to say, you know what? I need these people to get to where they can see the best and live the best. What you feed your mind leads your life. What are you feeding your mind at this moment? And how is it helping you get to a peaceful place where you can sleep through the night without having to worry? Because worry only steals from you. It doesn't add to you. And if it's taking away from you, it will definitely deplete you. You will be empty. You'll be burnt out. But you don't need to be that. It's a choice that you have to make. To change your mind, to change your life, to change your story. Without allowing fear to rob you. Because fear is just a stealer of your joy and your peace. And the only reason why we have fear is because we think that people would have stuff to say. Even when you die, people will still have stuff to say. And if your focus is on the external that people have to do and say and think, you will forget about yourself. You're very vital. And your life is a gift to be treasured, not to be measured by what other people think, do, or say. They didn't create you. They didn't give you what you deserve. They may be your purpose helpers or pushers, but they can't stop you from living. They can't even give you breath and life. So why focus on them? They're external. Focus on you. Sit with those feelings and emotions and let them help you become healthy and better from within. Where are you with your emotions and feelings? Where are you emotionally and mentally? Can you sit at home and say, I have peace within? I'm not even worried about anything going on because I am so peaceful with myself. And that peace is what gives you freedom. If you are not free within, you will not be free on the external. Freedom begins from within you. Peace begins from within you. And it shows externally when you have it on the inside. But if you don't have it, you can't give it. And you will not be able to attract it to you either. You would attract everything and repel it because you don't recognize what it is and what it looks like or feels like. You haven't experienced it. And the goal is for you to experience it so that you know that from within, life exists. Life is birthed from within. Not from everything we put on or we care about on the external. Someone was trying to yesterday and I said, I'm at home. Where am I going to wear the dress shoes to? That's not my prerogative. It's not even, I haven't even worn all the ones that I have. They were in survival mode. They weren't in living mode or peaceful mode. I was like, you don't know how long we're going to be home. Are you enjoying this moment at home? Or are you just letting survival mode push you and get you anxious and freak out? Because you can't control that. You can only control the peace that you have. And if you don't have the peace, you will let fear control you. You will let worry control you. You will let anxiety control you. But you were handed life to live. God signed, sealed, and delivered and said, here, go live it. But are you living it? Are you living it? And if you're not living it, it's time to begin to examine and see, what can I do to make the shift so that I can begin to live, not exist? Hey, Nana, I see you. How are you doing? It's been a while. So again, I'm challenging you to begin to look within. Work on those feelings. If you need support to get there, feel free to email me. I will Skype with you. I will FaceTime with you. I will messenger video chats with you to help you get to where you need to be. If fear is holding you back, you're making a choice to sit with fear. And you can't achieve anything when you sit with fear and fear sits with you. In this time, I'm giving the complimentary 45 minutes to 1 hour to sit with you to begin to help you get started. I can push you as much as I can, but if you're not pushing yourself, you will never attain it. It is a choice to get yourself into a healthy and emotional state of mind. You have to make a choice to become committed to yourself. Without committing to it, you will worry about it. You will blame everybody else about it. But are you living? That's the question. And that's the food for thought. Are you living it? Or are you letting life leave you? Are you living life or are you letting life leave you? Because if life leaves you, you will just be drained. Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, every possible way you will be drained if life is leaving you and you're not living life. This is the time to leave and to find yourself and connect with yourself and begin to make the mental shift into a healthy place where you need to be at. Again, feel free, email, inbox. I'll set up time with you if you're ready to take that step. This is another year. You don't know if you have tomorrow. You don't even know if you have 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So why not take that advantage and just leave in this moment to enjoy the peace and the love and everything that you truly deserve? No one else can give it to you if you don't give it to yourself. Nobody. I can't even do it for you. I can only do it for myself because I'm only responsible for my own life. And I have to give account for how I lived it. And if you're not holding yourself accountable, no one else can hold you accountable or become responsible for you. People will come and people will go, but you're leaving yourself behind all the time. What do you truly deserve? The life you've been granted, or the worry and the anxiety and the panic and everything that's making you unhealthy? What do you truly deserve? That's all I have. There are no questions. I'll be signing off. I'll connect with you guys again. Again, I'm not someone who comes on all the time because I'm only coming on when I'm led to speak. I know when to be silent and I know when to speak. That's wisdom. So if you need support, feel free to inbox, email, coaching@kemisogunle.com. Go on my website, grab the books, do the workbooks if you want to get started on your own. Or if you need support and want to have the 45 minutes with me, like I said, feel free to inbox me, DM me, and I will get on WhatsApp or Messenger app and video chat with you. Again, this is out. I talk about commitment and I talk about how to begin to connect with your emotions and heal. It's got a workbook in it as well. I'll see you all. Stay safe, stay home, and stay healthy spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Talk to you all soon. God bless. Bye-bye. Have a great night.